Hey guys, we're back. As in I mean you guys are back for another video because I'm probably not gonna upload for another year or so. When was my last video? Maybe, oh dear, maybe like 2 years ago maybe? Or one. Could be 5 months actually. I don't even remember what my last video was. I don't know. Anyway, I think I genuinely had one of the worst days of my life yesterday. That being July 3rd. And I am recording a video for today because here's another thing that actually got me kind of upset was I actually recorded a video yesterday on the worst day of my one of the worst days of my life to upload because I was like I got to cope with it somehow, right? I make a 50-minute video of Isaac. When I checked the footage, my mic was muted. Oh my god, dude. You have no idea how upset I got. This is useless. You guys have no idea how upset I got when I saw no audio coming out of the video. It got me bloody pressed. Does Tammy's head do more damage? Like add a little bit of a damage up to my tears, or is it the normal? Because why did that? Do I one-shot flies? I don't remember. Because I'm tainted and lost. I didn't take a gander at it. But yeah, my day was filled with stress because of work. And what makes it worse is that this lady who was working at the place where I work, Mom's Pearl. No, it's useless. She was hold on, but before I get into what she said, I was talking about how I was stressed. That was mainly because there were 7 items that were basically custom orders and for display. And for a guy like me, 7 isn't too bad. It's like kind of a little below of what my average is. Like the average amount of items I do depends on how I'm feeling, kinda. And it also depends on what type of items they are. So this item I had yesterday was a grill that was a Royal Gourmet grill, I think that was called, the brand. And I was kind of, it's the first time I was making one of those. So to me, I was a little bit excited, like, oh, this isn't the first time I'm doing it, so I might as well learn. Because all the other type of grills, I've learned the instructions, so I could do it faster, get paid more. So I try to learn it, and it's like, oh, this is super easy, right? I get to the part where I have to assemble the firebox, which is the actual main part of the grill, like almost the body, where you put your meat in, I guess. Well, where you put, um, like your steaks and whatnot. One of the one of the screws won't fit. Demonstration of inspiration. Is this not good? Is this item not OP? Hold on, I've never seen this. But one of the screws won't fit, so I was stressed out because like, do I have to file a damage report? But the thing is, if I file a damage report, I don't pay for it, which is like an actually good thing. Actual good thing. I'm ill. And I have a stuffy nose. I don't know why I have a stuffy nose. But we move on, right? So I tried to assemble the grill. The screw won't fit. Whatever. I noticed that the part of the sheet metal is bent. Like in a way. I'm going to try to explain it the best I could. Put your hand in like an L shape. Where, yeah. Your hand's in an L shape like you're... Hold on. Imagine you're carrying a little tray to bring out to a table at a restaurant. Like you're a waiter or a waitress or await them. that that friend who's too woke. But imagine you're holding out a tray You notice how your palm is facing up towards the sky? Put your fingers towards the sky, but leave your palm down. You know what I mean? So it's like an L shape. Imagine a sheet metal like that, and try to imagine your other hand, put it beneath the back of your hand that has your fingers going in an L shape. Imagine you trying to bend your fingers that are facing toward the sky toward the back of your other hand, if you get what I'm saying. It was extremely difficult on how to use pliers. I hope that ended up translating well, and you guys had a little fun activity to imagine what I was saying. But yeah, there was no file. Sorry, there was no damage report filed, so that was good. That was really good. I still get paid if I do file a damage report, which is also a good thing. And you could fix other people's mistakes at my work. So if you, like, let's say there's like a little grill that's missing a part that somebody couldn't find or just didn't come with. You could, sorry, they will file a damage report and order parts, meaning the parts will be soon coming to the Lowe's that you worked in that day. It's not going to be the same day, so you won't be able to repair it unless somebody else doesn't do it. And you could repair it for them. You do get paid a little bit. It's not like for a full assembly, unless it depends on how extreme the repair is. Like, let's say you just replace a part, you get maybe $7. If you replace a whole thing, like what I was talking about, the firebox, that would be considered like a level 3 repairment, and you get paid nearly the price of an actual grill assembly that you did. Because my work isn't an hourly wage, it's a per piece type of thing. So the more items I make that day, the more I get paid. It's not like if I stay there longer, I'm gonna get paid more. And the new job I'm trying to get, it's another it's another assembly job that is an hourly wage. So I'm interested to see how that works. Well, I've heard of people having an hourly wage with an assembly job. I just want to know more about the company I want to work. Well, I don't want to work at the new assembly place. Too, too bad, too badly. Because it's not like I need the money. Oh God, excuse me. It's not like I need the money because I'm not paying for anything. But I'd like to have the money, you know. Did I already talk about if I'm greedy or not? I don't know. Because I talked about similar stuff in the video I recorded yesterday. And I don't really remember what I talked about, and I don't remember what I talked about recently in this video. So bear with me. And I was telling myself, like, I am a 4-year graduate at an assembly job making little money. And I always... Wait! They do get stronger. My tiers are huge. Ooh, black market. But I was telling myself, if I don't get into Pima, like, what's the point in living? Because I'm kidding. But I wouldn't know what to do after that, honestly. What? Because I don't think I'm worth 20 an hour, which is what the new assembly job would offer. Considering I've been to college for 4 years and studied. But at the same time, it's not like my degree would help me in any way for that place. Because it's psychology. But the thing is, like... Oh man, I don't have a key. The thing is, like... I would still most likely get an increased pay range just because of me having a degree, because that's how some places work, if not most. Because the other place I tried to apply to, which is like an adjudicator position, for the military. Was it for the military? I think it was a border patrol, if I remember correctly. It's like I was eligible to get an increased pay range for having a degree. And it's like, oh, that's nice. But they haven't responded to me at all, so I guess I'm just useless. I'm just a little pawn for their game. Wait, it's like that one Lucy Bedroque song. How does it go again? Well, let me think about it. Because he was talking about pawns, being pawns all day. And I was like, isn't this fun? Having little pawns all game, all day. It's like, what are you talking about? Excuse me. Mr. Dolly, always nice. And I don't need perfection. What would I even use it with here? Nothing. Wait, did I get 2 choices from my item room? Or did I just get that? Wait, did I get scammed? I don't know anymore. But yeah, that's if I don't get into Pima, I wouldn't know what to do. Maybe I just find another place, because I was considering HR, but it's like I don't know if I want an HR job. Because I'm pretty good at handling people, I would say. But I wouldn't. I'm scared of people, that's the thing. Not scared deathly, it's just like, I don't know. I wouldn't willingly talk to a stranger unless I have to, or like I actually have something really nice to say. Because I was considering like going out of my way, not out of my way, but I was considering just. Oh, holy card! Hold on. I was considering um just giving compliments to random people, because it's always nice to hear compliments, right? And I like compliments. I like praise. Whoa. No, not like that, you know. But I like when people are nice. I'm sure that's for everybody out there. Like, I don't think I know a person who'd be like, I like when people are mean. Well, there might be some. You never know. There's a whole world out there. Are you serious? I got poop. What a useless item. Mystery box sucks too. You gave me poop. I've never seen that ever in my life. I'll just take you. Tammy's head. Wait, Cammy. That's my friend's cat's name. What if instead of Tammy's head, it was Cammy's head? And then, yeah. I can't even go in there, I just realized. Did I already say about my recording thing? I don't know. It's been a long day. I just woke up an hour ago. You know? Wait, 2 luck pennies? Lucky pennies? Do you guys think we're actually gonna win this run? Because I do. I have a good vibe about this. No more damage taken for the rest of the game. Because that's my ninja way. Oh my god. And also the grills I make, actually, talking about still talking about my work, was that the grill I was trying to assemble that was like nearly broken. Oh, I forgot to talk about the lady. So I was making the grill, right? And I was already stressed out. And I was like, and there were 7 things to do, which is not a lot for a guy like me. Which is, and the lady was like, no, no, sorry. I was talking to them first because um they brought out 3 storage sheds to me. So in total, what I had to do were like now 10 items, and that was kind of pushing it for me, especially considering that one girl I was talking about that was nearly broken was like it took me 2 hours to 2 hours 30 minutes, and usually items that I do at least I have to do maybe take me an hour to an hour 30 minutes, maybe even 40 depending if I know it by heart. And what does this do again? Oh no. Um, because it really depends on how fast you do things and how much you memorized that item. Like for a guy like me, I know every single charbroil grill and how to assemble it without the instructions. Also every Weber grill. And picnic tables too. Um, just a lot of different type of things. But this one took me 2 hours and 30 minutes just because of the fact it was so hard to assemble. And I was really excited too because the packaging was probably one of the best I've seen in my life. Does this guy only shoot? Seems like it. And walks toward me, I guess. Excuse me. Oh, are you serious? That was a snipe. So, oh my gosh. I keep burping. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I'm okay. Life goes on anyway. I'm gonna die in 3 days anyway. But the yeah, I could just make a lot of things without the instructions at this point. And my coworker kind of glazes me. But oh, I forgot I'm not gonna use that word anymore. It just came out naturally. And we're gonna have a new guy too. I'm getting off track. Just kill me. But in GTA. But they brought out the cabinets, the storage sheds, and they're like maybe twice the size as me, and probably weigh 3 times as me as well. So it's like for a little petite little man like myself, it's to the extreme level. I had to get some help from the Lowe's employees and be like, hey, can one of you guys help me? And I got some help. There were no, sorry, there were two of them. I am I'm going ahead of the story. So I get the 3 storage sheds, and then they're not too bad to build. Honestly, they're like pretty easy, and they don't weigh a lot too. It's the other storage sheds that came in after the ones I already got, so I had to make 5 storage sheds total. Well, considering 3 of them were like pretty easy, it's just the fact that I had now had And the storage sheds I made took me maybe 3 to 4 hours long. Took me 3 to 4 hours long. Oh, my nose is clearing up. And they put up 2 other ones. So I'm like, oh my god, you guys are killing me. Like, as a joke. And the lady said, well, it wasn't really as a joke, because I was kind of upset that I had to do more. And custom orders are like priority. So it's not like I could get all of them done. So I don't really know what they're doing at that point. Because that's not my problem anymore. I would like to help them more, but it's like I can't do this much work in one day. That's too much for a guy like me. And I don't even know if I get overtime pay. It's like overtime piecework, and I don't really know what that means. Like, do I just, do I get paid more for assembling something? Like, let's say I get paid $25 for making a grill. Will I be paid maybe 35? Oh my god, I almost got mad. Or is it like, I just get paid, and it just looks like I did overtime? I don't know. But I get the 2 storage heads. I'm like, you guys are killing me, as a kind of joke. And the lady says, yeah, they're killing us too. Lady, I didn't say this. Lady, cover me and then say that. Because I'm going through it right now, as you could clearly see. Because that's not how you comfort someone. You gotta validate their feelings before kind of telling a story of your own. Because I just kind of like, well, that happened to me too. So it's like, it doesn't feel nice, you know what I mean? I don't really know how to explain it, even though I'm a psychology major. And I think I would just not say that. I'd be like, oh, that sucks. And maybe say something a little bit more. I can't really think on top of my head. I ran into fire. I'm going in here. Nope. Nope. Sure. And that's the thing, like, it's kind of hard to come up with stuff on the spot when you're trying to comfort someone, for a guy like me at least. And that's why I didn't really want to go into psychology, was because, like, it's too stressful, because, like, whatever you say could impact them for a long time, or maybe for the rest of their life. And that honestly, that's for everything that you say to people. But it's even worse if you're trying to comfort someone in like the therapy kind of sense. Because I was when I was first going to psychology, I was like, I kind of want to be a therapist, you know, because I've had some what do you call it? What's the word? Unofficial experience, because of I'm not gonna get into that. Sorry for bringing it up. That was useless. But to me, it's like I kind of wanted to do it, and then as I grew, oh my god, grew older, I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore, you know? Which really sucks, because I went to college for 4 years, and I don't mind doing anything with it. And that's the thing that kind of gets me irked. It's like, And that's the thing that kind of irks me is like, um, I should forget what I was talking about. Anyway, oh Lord, are you serious? And I was talking about therapy. That's right. What was I talking about exactly about therapy? It's like I know how to deal with people. It's just coming up with it on the spot. Is what I was saying. Oh my god. No, that's useless. When it comes to texting, though, I feel like because that gives me a lot more time to think about it. Maybe like an extra 20 seconds to 10. And those 10 to 20 seconds actually matter for a guy like me. You know? Ooh, this is good. And I feel like I'm a pretty good comforter. Maybe it's just someone to talk to. I wish people talk to me more. As in, like if they need help or something like that. Because I feel like I give pretty good. Well, I've told people as well. Sorry, people told me that I do. And it's like, wow, this is nice. I should be a therapist, you know? That's kind of where that whole idea of becoming a therapist came from. I was like, hey, you're pretty good at talking. Talking to. You're pretty good to talk to. Yeah, you're alright, you know? But, yeah. And then, now I'm an assembler. Happy 4th of July, guys, by the way. I forgot it was today. Something about being free, or something like that. Freedom. When I went to the NASCAR race recently, at the naval base in Coronado. Honestly, I had way more fun than I thought. Cause you'd probably sit there and be like, me talking about it and be like, well, it sounds kind of boring because you're just watching cars race all day. No, no, because there's a lot more stuff to do before, during, and after the whole race. It's just worth, yeah. And for a guy like me, I also went with my dad because it was Father's Day that day as well. So I was like, oh, hello. This is pretty nice. Pretty nice day with my father and I. So we went to the NASCAR race, and there were two main people I was going for. One being a person, one being a car, actually. Because one of the cars was a pickle car. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I want to go for the pickle car. Pickle. And he ended up getting... He actually was in top 5 for quite a bit. But he fell down to 23rd. And I have no idea how, because my dad and I went to go get beer. And then when we went back to our seats... Oh, I need to tell you about our seat situation. But when we got the beer, came back, he was in 27th. I was like, what happened to a pickle car? So yeah, they ended up getting maybe 25th out of the whole race. The other person I was going... What does this do again? Oh, it's a triple shot? Why did I just get a bunch of... What is happening? But, I was going for... Wait, I get it for the red... How long does this last? I went to... I was also going for this guy named Bubba. I was like, that guy has a cool name. I'm gonna go for him. Bubba. Flies off the tongue easily, you know what I mean? Bubba. This is so useless. One of the worst rooms I've seen in my life. So I went for Bubba. He ended up getting second. And it's surprising he got second, because he ended up actually having a dangerous mishap during the race, which brought him down to last place. It was the whole situation. He went to go get his pit stop to replace like his tires and whatnot, because the tires are like super smooth, and if you it can't be on the track for too long. Otherwise, it's going to be too slippery, you know? Because you don't want too much, um, what is it called? Thread? Like, you don't want traction, you don't want anything along the lines of that. You just want to keep it as light as possible. Otherwise, you're going to slow down a bit. So he went to get his pit stop, and when the guy drilling the socket into, oh lord, into the wheel, Bubba drove off quickly and made the pit stop person, I don't even know what they call it, I guess a mechanic. He didn't tighten it enough, and during his, like, halfway through the lap, his wheel came off. And then, and surprisingly, he kept calm. You know, he just he was still able to drive, but it was super slow, considering he's missing a wheel. So some car, like pickup truck, had to pick up his car to bring him to the pit stop, and I think it was broken at some point, like his whole wheel section, and they had to makeshift it or something like that because he was there for a really long time. Even other people who had mishaps, they weren't in the pit stop for that long, getting repairs. So it's like, what happened? What exactly happened there? Because obviously his wheel came off. Like, what is the internal like mechanics in it that caused issues? More issues per se. Wait, what was that item? Was it Game Boy? Or was that last run? So yeah, Bubba got second, and he's actually part of Michael Jordan's NASCAR team. I didn't even know Michael Jordan had a NASCAR team. He actually had no, he had 4 players running, like dominating the race. One of his players got first. I think his name was Colin Neal or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Um, yeah, he got first. Some random, I say random as if he's not an important figure because he's a NASCAR driver. And some random got second. Another player on Michael Jordan's team got third. And someone else got on Michael Jordan's team got fourth. And then I forget where the other guy went. I think his car got totaled actually, because it was a really huge crash. It wasn't like dangerous or anything, because you know they're very compact in there. It's very safe. But the car was messed up, and I think 4 cars that were in the crash couldn't race anymore because it was so bad. Luckily, no one was hurt. And for some reason, during the race too, there was a giant spill. It might have been from oil. I don't know exactly how oil is kept in the cars, but it wasn't like people were slipping. There were a lot of um like caution flags because during a race, the caution flags mean like something is happening on the track. There's a car that is slowing down for no reason, and we try to figure it out. So people have to get in line of what place they're in and run around the track in line, you know, and it counts toward their lap. And it's super slow, so it's not like you're looking at them racing at full speed. It's just like, oh, they're. It's like looking at kids at a field trip, just going in line to places. You know what I mean? I couldn't think of any other example really. Well, you know what? Think of a Snake, the game. But, like the snakes are in sections. The segments. That's a bad example. I think the kid one is better actually. I think that was a perfect example. but it was cool. There were a lot of activities you could do at the naval base as well for the NASCAR. Like we got a free water bottle. My dad was actually getting racially profiled. I don't know if that's the right word completely. Racially profiled. I mean term, not word. Ooh. But let's just say if he was white, things could have turned out differently. Is what he was saying, not what I was saying. You know what? I see it for some things. Like for one example, he brought like this. It's not exactly a Stanley cup. No, it's like a thermal flask almost. And apparently this guy, I say apparently as if it didn't happen right in front of my eyes. This guy went up to him when we were in line. Not completely like in the gates, but we were just in line and there was kind of security. Like people who want to ask questions. And he went up to us and he told my dad, "Hey, you can't bring that in there." What about the people who also have thermal flasks? I didn't say that, or he didn't say that, but like we were like, okay. I'm just gonna finish it. And the guy's like, okay, well make sure you put it away in your car. Let's just say he didn't do that. So like, is it kind of his fault in a way? But also, when we got to the gates, they're like, you have to throw that out. He's like, what? Why do I have to throw it out? It's like it's not allowed in here. So he had to throw out the thermal flask almost. The thermal flask like cup. And let's just say when we were walking around the naval base, people were carrying their thermal flasks. So it was like, what the heck? Why did he have to throw it out but not the other people? Racism? Maybe. And then the seating situation. We get to our stand where our seats are, and there's a person standing there. Not standing, sitting there, and we were like, what's going on here? And it's a lady who's like, we tell her, hey, these are our seats. Are you guys in the wrong place? Or was there a mishap when they double booked? So she was like, oh, I don't know. My husband has the tickets. So when he comes back, because he's getting us food, we could check the tickets. So like, okay, that's fine. He comes back, and I'm gonna try to explain this as simple as possible and try to remember what exactly happened. But the husband came back and he brought like a ticket master, not a ticket master, like an employee, and the employee is like, "Hey, sir," to my dad actually, to my dad, just making sure you guys know that he was talking to my dad at this point. He's like, "I saw this guy's ticket. Can I see yours?" And it's fine, you know. But I'm also thinking, if he saw his ticket, he would know if he's in the right seat or not. You know what I mean? But it's always good. It's always good to check if it's double booked. And when he checked my dad's ticket, he was like, "Well, these are the correct seats. You guys are here." But my dad didn't see the tickets. So he's like, "Well, let me see what your ticket says," to the husband of the guy who, sorry, the husband of the woman who was in our seat. And when he checked the tickets, they weren't his seats. So those seats were rightfully ours. And I was thinking to myself, is this because he's brown? You know? Like maybe the employee like just didn't see it correctly. Because to be fair, the tickets are kind of confusing. It shows you what stand you're in. You know, that's perfectly normal. But it also shows two rows you're supposed to be in. Because imagine you're at stands, like the metal stands you see in like stadiums, no, not stadiums, like college campuses where your family can watch you play soccer or something, you know? And they're You know, like the middle part of the stands, like you could just go up the stairs to. On the ticket, it shows you row F to G. Okay, well, are you row F or G? Well, then it tells you in the next segment, you're row F or you're row G. Why doesn't it say you're just in row G or F? It's not confusing in that sense. It's just like, why would it do that? That's just enemy type of thing. So the people ended up not staying there because it was our seats, and that was that. It was a fun time, honestly, and it was so loud. I was not considering how loud it was gonna be. So thankfully, me being a very smart, handsome, talented young man, um, at the front of the gates where you enter the naval base, they were they had free earplugs. I'm like, I'll take a pair just in case. And ooh, that's useless for me. And when I first heard the cars go by, I was like, oh, that's not too bad. I could wear it. I don't have to wear these. Let's just say that was their warm up and they were slowed down most of the time. When I saw them speed up, I was like, oh dear, how loud is it gonna be? They nearly blew out my eardrums. I'm not even kidding. It was really loud. I was like, oh my god, this is extreme levels of noise. Not as much as like a jet, but it was still pretty loud. So I wore headphones. No, not headphones. I wore the earplugs the whole day. Just because I didn't want to blast my eardrums. And my work already gives me a run for my money when it comes to noise. So, yeah, I don't want to lose my hearing a lot at this point in my life. Even even when I'm considering like I do want to make music as well because I have this melody in my head that I want to produce. And I think it's going to be amazing, right? It goes part of it goes like I don't want to do it. I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna do it anyway. It goes like dun 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 dun. Like it's kind of basic, but I think with the other instrument I want to put into it, I think it's magnificent. Speaking of music, I am making like a music log, and I think it's like it's gonna become a hobby at this point. I think it's a hobby. Is that considered a hobby? Maybe. I just rate albums. It's fun. The thing about hobbies is like I've heard people talk about how speaking of like also therapy, because I talked about this earlier. But I think people trying to cope with something and people tell them just get a hobby. I think that's probably one of the worst advices you can give to someone. Because who in their right mind is going to actually, especially someone, oh my god, this, oh, I tried to sit up from my chair and I put all of my weight on a folded big toe. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh, I think I'm good now. But, um, I think trying to tell someone who's already in a really bad state, you tell them, like, go to the gym, you know? Like, would it help them? For sure. Who would in their right mind would actually do it? Oh, everyone's different, so they actually might. But who will follow through with a plan to go to the gym and stick with it? Even considering how much, sorry, how many people don't follow the New Year's resolution? Because I forget the exact statistic, but isn't it like less than 15%, maybe? And to me, that's kind of ridiculous. So telling them get a hobby or go to the gym, it's not good. I think comfort is always just the correct way to deal with trying to help someone. And maybe give a couple advice, because not everybody's looking for advice, right? Sure, it helps them, but that's not what they're thinking about right now. They're not thinking. Some people, at least, are not thinking, how do I deal with this? They just want someone to talk to. Oh, I didn't, I didn't do this. Which is why I consider myself to be a good talker. It's because I don't really give them advice unless they're looking for it. When I think that's pretty standard for what people do anyway. Do I give the best advice? I don't think so, but I could definitely help you toward that goal or that mindset you want to try to get to. This guy reminds me of a guy I know named Brandon. His name's Gluttony. Anyway, um, well, I think I'm gonna call it there. Goodbye, people. How do I?